G'day folks, we've got 4 chairs in our family room and we've had them for more than 40 years and they're well overdue for a bit of a refurbishment, maybe and some reupholstery. The best results you can get with reupholstering is to take it to a professional, but we decided we'd have a crack at it ourselves. I've already done 3 chairs and we're on the last one, so I thought I'd like to share the last chair with you guys, the viewers. Anyway, let's not look at my face. Let's go and have a look at the chairs. Let's have a look at the chair. The covers are pretty bad and definitely need replacement. There's 40 years plus of grime and dirt etc. built up on the wood itself, but we decided to go with this because we thought it would be a relatively easy job to reupholster these, rub them back and bring them back to a good condition. Of the chairs we've done 3 already. This one seems to have more chips and dings on it than any of the others, so it'll be a bit of a challenge. Still on this side, as you can see, she's pretty bad, and that's pretty much the cover. One thing I will say about this chair is, it's fairly solid. The other chairs I had to re-glue them as all the joints had come loose, but this one has stood the test of time and I actually should be able to just rub this back and I won't have to re-glue it. Right, the first job will be to take the back off and the base off and get that ready to be upholstered. Now those 2 screws you're looking at, they're Allen keys, and I do have the Allen keys ready to go. And the base is held on by 4 screws that just takes a star screwdriver. Well, the best laid plans of mice and men. I took the seat off and noticed that just here and here, on this side, sorry, it's come loose over the years, so that'll have to be re-glued. So after I've rubbed this chair back, I'll clamp it and glue it, or glue it and clamp it. The base and the back are off, the screws are in the jar, and what has to happen now is the upholstery or cover has to come off of both of these pieces, base and back. Now the tool I'm going to use to take the staples out is this thing here, a very familiar piece of kit that I own, and I know it quite well. I used it for quite a few years while I was in the army, and it works a treat for taking these staples off. Well, that didn't take as long as I thought it would. How I'm going to finish is with a little bit of a rub. Okay, here goes. And same, I'll see you at the end of this short journey. Well, that took a lot longer than I thought it would. The old foam was starting to turn to powder. I just have some staples now to take out. The foam was actually stapled to the back just to hold it in place, I suppose, while they stretch the fabric over the top. The process in sanding this off is I start with a detail sander. That takes a lot of the hard work. Some sandpaper on the bits that I can't get to with the detail sander, some finer sandpaper, and I finish with steel wool. The finer sandpaper and the steel wool are in a box down in the back shed at the moment. I'll just have to get them. When you're using this gear, hearing protection, a mask and some eye protection. The sawdust goes everywhere, so get your car out of the garage and cover anything you don't want to get covered in sawdust. I won't be filming sanding this down because I don't really want to expose my camera to a whole load of sawdust. The chair's been rubbed back and it's ready to apply oil. For a 40-year-old chair with a whole heap of battle scars, it hasn't done too badly. Some of them were just way too deep to get rid of. ready for oil. What we've got here, a pair of gloves, because I don't like oil in my hands. A nice rag that doesn't have any lint or anything, because you don't want anything sticking to the chair. And that, Feast Watson, is oil that's readily available from the nearest hardware to us. I'm sure there's lots more brands on the market, but that's the one I've chosen for this job. Okay, just a quick check now to make sure I've got everything, but this chair is very thirsty, and I think it's probably going to need about 3 coats rather than 2. Anyway, that's the oil. I'll see you when I start to put wax on the chair. I'm going to apply some wax to these chairs. Honestly, I don't know whether if you put oil on you need to wax them, or if you need oil if you're going to wax. But maybe it's a little bit overkill, but that's how we've done it. Now, wax on, wax off. Now the process is you put the wax on and then you rub it off fairly quickly, and that's what the instructions say. So we tend to do just one section at a time. One little bit at a time, and you work your way through to the end. Anyway, I'm just going to keep going with this, and I'll see you when the job's done. Well, that's it. Wax off. Now it's just a matter of putting the back on once the upholstery's done. The process in upholstering the seats is we've got some foam that we got cut to size from a specialised rubber supply, foam rubber supply. Put that on top. The material then gets placed on. It's stretched across and it's stapled using this little fella here. We did have a hand pressed stapler, but that was an absolute killer. So we switched to this one and the job is a hell of a lot easier. With the back of the chair, we kind of made a rookie error. Now with the foam we bought for that, we got that cut in 2 pieces, when in actual fact we should have had 1 piece so we could stretch it over the top. But we've made the best of it and it's coming out pretty good, and we'll see that at the end of the job. So same thing. Stretched over, stapled into place, and we'll have a look at that when it's done. The upholstery is almost done. This is the base. It's stapled around the edge, tucked in nicely, and that's ready to go. This is the back. It's stapled along the bottom and on the edges, and it's almost ready to go, except that next it gets a little piece of material to hide or cover the staples, just to keep it a little bit more secure. So that's it. All we have to do now is complete the work and put it on the chair. Job done. Finishing it off with the furniture wax gives it a really nice sheen. At the moment it's still a bit soft because it's brand new, but in about a week when the furniture wax goes hard, it'll give it a really good finish that'll be very protective. Anyway, you guessed it, as always, if you made it this far, thanks for watching.